What do you think of Ireland and Irish culture? What comes to mind? This is Ireland. You can probably tell. It's very green and the weather is not great. It's nearly July and it's cold and rainy right now. It could also be very hot, very humid. It changes a lot and very quickly. You could get like 4 seasons in a day. So you need to be ready for everything. Other than the amazing weather, there's amazing people here, and the reason why I'm in Ireland is because my boyfriend is Irish. So Irish, in fact, that he has 2 DNA tests to prove that he is super duper Irish.
Two DNA kits?
First time I came to Ireland, Kevin picked me up at the airport in Cork City, and we're driving on this beautiful road. There's trees and nature and everything green, and I'm like, where are we? What national park is this? And he's like, it's just a road. This is where people commute. This is just a dual carriageway and nothing to see here. And to me it was like incredible that everything is so freaking beautiful and scenic here. Nature is thriving everywhere. And I guess that's thanks to this amazing weather. But it really makes Ireland as a country one of the most fairy tale-like, most nature beautiful, hike ready, go to awesome nature spots. Did I say nature already? Literally in the garden too. Like we have rabbits in the garden, like rabbits. Fox too, we have seen a couple of times. And it's just because Ireland is also a very rural country. Even when you live in a town, it's like very spread out where the houses are, and there's lots of land that is just farmer land where animals thrive, and yeah, then bunnies visit you and foxes and birds are singing for you while you're having your breakfast and looking at these cute animals. Yeah, it is a fairy tale world. The coast, countryside, forests, hikes, you name it. There's just so many things to do outside in Ireland. And other than outside, I was curious what people would tell me about the Irish experience that I was going to go on the other day. Kevin said, we're going somewhere. This is gonna be a very Irish experience. So I posted it on my Instagram story and I was curious if you guys can guess what we were going to do. This is how we ended up looking. Before addressing why we had that outfit on and what the heck were we doing, let me react to your responses because there were some hilarious ones and some pretty good guesses too. So what do people think about Ireland? What's the most Irish experience? Irish pubs, beer. Irish pubs, beer, pub crawl, a pub, a bar, pub crawl, drinking in the pub, Guinness beer, fight in a pub with the rain, pub with rain inside. There's just so many of the responses saying pub that I think there's some truth to it. Irish culture, I feel like, is hugely linked to pub culture too. And I didn't understand this at the start very much. Why is that such a big deal? Pubs like exist everywhere in the world, but there's something about Irish pubs that is very charming. And even abroad, there's a lot of Irish pubs. Some are techie, some are better at doing the actual Irish authentic experience. There really is something cozy and charming about Irish pubs. Because Ireland is so rural, pubs are actually some of the biggest social hubs. So it's not like when you're in a city and you can go to many cafes and restaurants and theater or a cultural center. Here in Ireland, for a lot of people, in order to be able to hang out with friends, celebrate weddings, baptisms, for people to socialize, a lot of times that means meeting in a pub. In the most rural areas, there's definitely a pub, but maybe nothing else other than a pub. So it is really a meeting place, a hub. And this article explains it better than I could ever put it into words. In Ireland, pubs aren't just places to drink. They are often the heart of the community. In smaller towns and villages, the local pub is where people gather to chat, catch up with old friends, or make new ones. It's a welcoming space for everyone, locals and visitors alike. The atmosphere is relaxed and unpretentious, making it easy to strike up a conversation with anyone around you. I feel like that's so important, the heart of the community, because you need a place to socialize. So yeah, pub culture is huge. Do you know where I am? I'm in our own pub. Well, it's not really a pub. It's better than that. It's a Baravan. And if you know Kevin's videos, this is a very old and broken down caravan that he turned into a garden room, a Baravan, and it's my favorite place to be. It's just such like Irish pubs, a very cozy and very cool space where you can see nature. And even when it's rainy, you just sit here listening to the rain and looking out at this beautiful green scenery. Bars and nature, definitely two of the top things in Ireland. The small percentage of comments that weren't about pubs or drinking, they mentioned leprechauns. Do you know what leprechauns are? These mythical cute creatures from Irish folklore. Well, cute. I mean, I did feel cute when I dressed up as a leprechaun myself. Anything for charity, you know, anything for charity. It was for St. Patrick's Day and also for a charity occasion. And I felt majestic with my full-grown beard. I did not find the goal though. It's supposed to be at the end of the rainbow. But then rainbows don't have an end, do they? It's kind of an illusion, an unattainable goal. But still, a cool story about leprechauns and their gold. One day I'm gonna catch one. But until then, we did go and do something very Irish. And it is related to the pop culture. We went to see and went to learn how to make whiskey. Did you know that whiskey in Irish is Ishkabana? Excuse my pronunciation. It means water of life. If that doesn't say how important whiskey is in Ireland, I mean, water of life. I think the first mentions of whiskey in Ireland date back to the 11th and 12th century, like ancient times. And it is claimed that Ireland is the place where whiskey was invented, and I could easily see that. It's the water of life after all. 11th century. Imagine monks bringing in the distilling technique that was used for perfumes in the Middle East, but Irish people are like, hey, we could do something better with the distilling technique. Why not make alcohol? Something like that was the story. It was many hours, the tour, and we went through the old distillery, all the process, all the steps on how to make whiskey. Well, I would love to tell you the whole story. I'm gonna tell you some of the moments that stood out to me the most. First of all, our guide, Tommy, don't you think he looks like he's from Succession? He could be the brother of Tom easily, and both Kevin and I love Succession. So the moment I realized that, goodness me, our tour guide, who is an awesome tour guide, if you ever go to do the distillery tour, the Jameson tour, try to go with Tommy. Tommy is amazing. Other than looking like Tom from Succession, he is just a very insightful, very fun tour guide. And we had this small group of ours, just the four of us, and Tommy, walking around for hours, touring the distillery and chatting along the way. There were 47 Germans in the group behind us. I love German people. I am part German, as you can tell from my surname probably. But goodness me, 47 German people. We were so happy that we were in this small group with Tommy. 2 Americans, and just Kevin and me, and the 2 American gents were also just so friendly, so fun to be around. So we had this amazing, fun, cool group chased by 47 Germans who were following our steps. But yeah, we were the lucky ones. Being the small group, the apprentice group, this was the most in-depth tour. I think that's also why we were the small group. We went for the all-inclusive, also most expensive ticket, but I would definitely recommend it if you want to go all in on whiskey knowledge and whiskey tasting. We tasted whiskey that cost like probably more than gold. Recently, the distillery sold a bottle of whiskey, or were going to sell one. I'm not sure if it's still up for sale, but it was advertised for 60,000 euros, a bottle of whiskey. Maybe that's not the one we tasted, but it was close to it. The cask that Tommy opened for us, it's older than Kevin, not older than me. It was from 1989. Can you imagine a barrel sitting there for over 3 decades? Over 3 decades. And they crack it open for you so that you can taste it. Maybe this is a good moment for me to say, by the way, that before meeting Kevin, I had never tried whiskey. But the moment I met him, I wanted to impress. We were hanging out at TwitchCon. This is the event where we met 6 years ago. I mean, everyone was just at the bar, ordering drinks. And what do? I would normally order a mojito or something light. I'm not really big on drinks. I don't know much about spirits or anything. But everyone is ordering Jameson ginger ale. And so they asked me, Anna, what do you want? And I'm like, the same! Just with like the biggest confidence in the world that this is my drink. I'm cool like you guys. I had never in my life tasted whiskey and I didn't know what I was ordering, but I just wanted to fit in. So I ordered the same as Kevin and it was nice. I actually liked it, and Everyone was drinking so fast that they were like, next round. And I'm like, yeah, next round. And I thought I'm being cool and I'm gonna impress this nice Irish guy I've just met. And I'm like, I really have a crush on him. So I need to like impress. I need to fit in. I need to be like everyone else in the group. Later, Kevin told me that he thought, goodness me, this girl drinks a lot. I learned since that you don't need to copy other people's behavior because Irish men can drink a lot. Kevin is a very tall guy, so maybe that's not my standard and capacity of drinking, nor I should aim to be at that height. A drink maybe or two is enough for a tiny person like me, and that's not what makes you cool, how much you can drink. And you can just decide not to drink at all, because that's what I started doing recently, that sometimes I just order a tea or water or a soft drink at pubs, and that's also completely fine. So thank goodness I no longer feel that pressure that no one put on me but me. But at the distillery, of course, there was a lot of whiskey, and tasting a whiskey that costs a fortune, there's something very special about it. So you start tasting it, and even if whiskey is not your thing, I was like, you know, it just, once they tell you the whole process, how it's made, that it's been sitting there for over 3 decades, it's a special moment. It is special to taste something like that, as strong as it is, and I must admit I had to put some water to it. And I can say that we have seen one of the most expensive barrels in the world. Some of the ones that were sitting in that warehouse are sold for over 100,000 euros a barrel. You can own a barrel at the distillery of some of these really old whiskeys. The older the whiskey in general, the higher the price, because it's unique, and also some of them are like very special blends. But just imagine a barrel for over 100,000 euros. There's people, apparently wealthy people, who can do that they just have their barrels sitting at the distillery, and then each week or whatever occasion comes up, they just ring up the distillery and say, hey, I want 2 bottles for next week. Could you write my son's name on it and my mother-in-law? I want to give this to them for their birthdays. We have seen some of those barrels. Handwritten sold sign, cost over 100,000 euros. And definitely not for my pocket, but the experience itself was awesome. We were around halfway through the tour when a man in a high-vis jacket, full-grown beard, passes by us and says hello. He's super friendly, starts chatting with everyone in the group. Then he says he'll join us for the tasting. He'll bring a bottle that we can also taste. I just kept thinking this whole time that how nice this maintenance guy is. Like, he's probably the electrician or the plumber, you know, he just came out of this side building and he's gonna join us, which is like super cool. Then he comes to join us for the tasting, brings a bottle of Method and Madness, and it turns out this bottle of Method and Madness is from his inventory, which then starts like making less sense. Like, how does this electrician have his own inventory of bottles of whiskeys here? And then it turns out he made that whiskey. He's literally the distiller, the blender behind this particular bottle of Method and Madness, which is an innovative experimental brand of Jameson. They are doing it as a micro distillery. And it was just so amazing. We met him just casually. Tommy was telling us, this doesn't happen every day. This is not usually part of the experiment, that we just bump into the actual distiller and we end up meeting someone who produced that literal bottle that we are tasting. It was just awesome. I have become a huge fan of the whole place. I think both Kevin and I had such a cool time with the tour, but what made it really special were the people. Our group, that was a really fun group. Shout out to our group, we were the best group. I think we were the coolest group that day. Tommy, our tour guide, and also the blender from Master and Madness. And I think it became one of my favorite Irish experiences because of the people that we met along the way. And I think that is what, to me, the most special about Ireland. There's so many nice people, friendly people, humorous people. Irish people have such a special humor. I'm laughing so much every day. I guess that's hugely thanks to Mr. Call Me Kevin, who is a hilarious person, and I love his humor, of course. I'm a #1 fan of the Call Me Kevin channel, but that's how Kevin is in person. He makes me laugh all the time. There is not a single boring day. There is not a single day that would be the same, because he is such an authentic and kind and genuine and hilarious person. And a lot of people in Ireland are not as funny as Kevin, but they are funny. And they are nice and kind and caring. And human connection, bond between people, even if it's just for a few hours, is what makes an experience truly special. So shout out to this amazing group of people, and shout out to all the future amazing group of people that we will meet in Ireland and elsewhere too. Because I'm not saying Irish people are the only cool people in the world, but they are some of the coolest that I know. And that comes from a Hungarian who has lived in Spain for over a decade. And I love Spain too. Maybe the next experience video I'm gonna do about Spain, who knows? But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments, what do you like the most about Ireland, and have you met some cool, funny, friendly, kind Irish people yourself? Or not Irish. I'm not Irish either, but now I wish I was. It's a cool country with cool people. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Sláinte. Cheers. I should have said that. Sláinte.